and Mimi.
And we're here to talk about our stitching and other stuff. So we get to be together. We decided kind of, well, not totally at the last minute, but a little bit at the last minute that we would come here for the weekend because of Father's Day. We were supposed to be camping, but our dog, I think we talked about it last week, broke her leg. So we decided camping was out. So she's here with us because we can kind of manage this kind of visit much better than camping. So we got to come over and we're together.
And they have not been over here since Christmas.
Yeah.
So it's been a while.
Yeah.
And we're in a different spot. I think I have recorded, when I've been at my house, I've recorded in a different room every single time. But this room used to be our son's bedroom, and it was dark, and it had a rust-colored wall, and my husband painted it yellow, and now it's bright and cheery. And I think I maybe found my new spot.
So even though you were sad last week when they were moving out in the middle of our video, there's a bonus. Now
I'm not so sad anymore. But it took me a week, and I'm okay, actually. So we are here, and this is episode number 5, and it is June 2020.
June 20th. June 20th.
Yes. 2020. And we're still going strong.
So
and we still have stitching stuff.
And we still love reading your comments and just enjoying watching your videos and interacting back and forth. So
yes. Oh, yes. And I have a new one to mention.
Me too.
Yeah, probably the same one.
I don't know.
The one that I'm mentioning left a comment on us. And so I told them that I would I would give her a shout out.
Maybe it is. I know. Well, we'll see.
You have to just wait and see.
What do you have that's either finished or previous finished?
Okay, I have none. I have something from the vault. And yesterday, it was hot here, and it was humid, and I don't like it when it's humid. I usually just want to sit. And I got a wild hair to put my patriotic stuff out, because I'm not going to leave it up like I did last year. I didn't have much summer stuff, and so I just had my regular generic decorations, and so I left my patriotic stuff up almost all summer. And I kind of splurged yesterday because we're now in phase 2 in King County. So my stores have opened. And I got to go to a Michael's, and they had what they considered fall stuff, but I considered it late summer, marked 40% off. And I really love sunflowers. And so they had a whole sunflower section of little home. I have a big mantle that I decorate. So I bought some sunflower stuff, but for after the 4th. But I found this little piece that I stitched. It used to be in a frame. I stitched it in 1991. It was in a magazine that my Stitch and Stuff store used to get. It usually had ads in it for cross-stitch products and catalogs and possibly stores. And there was always a little free pattern in it. And I did it, and I've always loved it. And it got kind of tucked away, and it's got water. It was in a frame with glass, and I used to have it sitting above my sink. And I think the water damage kind of got to it. But I was thinking that I would
look at this finishing too. You didn't leave anything in the back. Like
no, and so I pinned it.
You did really.
I pinned it. Yeah, this is before there was sticky board, and so that's how I finished a lot of my stuff. Was I would try to I strung some stuff, but not very often because I don't really like doing that. And I think I even just matted down. But anyway, I wanted to put it on a new sticky board like Priscilla does with some pom-poms or something around it, but I don't have any of that finishing stuff. So that's my previous finish. In fact, I stitched that before my last 2 children were even born. And now they're adults. And then this is my
8 years old when you stitched that.
You were only 8?
Yeah.
Oh, that feels like a really long time ago.
So now you know my age, I guess. You want to do the math.
Do the math. So this is a piece that Sarah, this is my version. I mean, my finished one, but Sarah just finished this also, but I actually fully finished mine last night.
Which I wanted to do this weekend.
It is Summer Storm by Alicia Paulson, and we have raved about her, I think, on every single episode because we love her stuff. Alicia, I wish you watched us because, man, we bring business to you. But I finished it last night. I actually got this frame. My spring one by her is in a white frame, and I put that away yesterday, and I got to put this one up, and I love it. I love those flowers. And I did have a little bit of a trouble framing it, but it's good enough for now. I didn't have the right size sticky board, so it's actually not totally sitting in there. But anyway, that's my fully finished. And actually doing a Flosstube is really nice because it kind of motivates you to finish things.
Unless you're me, because all week I was like, I'm going to have that finished for this next episode. And I just didn't get to it, but I'm going to have I have a white frame that I just switch out the seasons, and I still have my spring one up because I have still not decorated with my summer stuff. I just don't have very much summer, so I'm not very excited to put it up, but I'm trying to accumulate more.
And I only really got that frame because there was a huge sale going on. I thought about swapping mine out too. So
yeah,
no finishes.
I have no finishes this week. I'm trying, but I did do a lot of stitching, but just no finishes.
Sarah is a big gardener. Every time I called her last week, she was out in the garden, and I am a non-gardener. Like I weeded the other day, and the pile of weeds is still sitting in the yard because it hasn't been put. Well,
I have piles of weeds around, but I have 3 little helpers that are supposed to.
I don't have any helpers.
I do. I have a big vegetable garden. We just added a couple smaller like square beds, and one of them a couple of years ago we added, and it has wildflowers. And then the girls, they can tell you about their garden if they want to. They have a garden. And then we have been doing a lot of landscaping we have like a big lawn, and we've been landscaping. It's beautiful as it is, but my friend has been helping me plan.
It's gonna be amazing.
It's beautiful. So this week we did a lot of a nursery nearby us is going out of business. They're retiring. And so all their plants are marked way down, and their shrubs, we were getting like gorgeous shrubs for like $4 for a 1-gallon pot. So they're not big, but they'll be big in a couple of years.
Yeah.
So we're like lining our big driveway with all these beautiful flowering shrubs. Like, I don't even know how to say some of them. Weigela, I think, is one of them, and spirea. So it's going to be
gorgeous.
Some of those snowball, the viburnum. I'm really excited. So I did a lot of that, and every time she would call, I'd be out there digging or weeding or whatever. She's like, "Are you doing that instead of stitching again?"
I'm like, "Get in the house. We need content."
So I stitch a lot in the evenings, but during the day I've been out in the garden. So I do love gardening.
Okay.
So we have some visitors. I don't know. They're not really visitors anymore. They're just permanent.
We have our sidekicks with us again.
Millie coming first? Yeah, Millie can go first.
Here, how about
Millie has worked really hard this
Thanks.
week.
Millie is stitching
on all her things.
Yes.
So,
except for the puppy.
It's not done yet. It's
Not
almost done.
yet.
Really close. We had to wait for thread to come in the mail because we are not in phase 1. Where we live is actually number 3 in the country for COVID cases. So
they actually should still be shelter in place because nothing's open anyway.
So we kind of are, like, we're not really going very many places. We're breaking the rules and coming to visit. But we have been pretty isolated for several months.
I've been their floss mule. I've been sending them floss.
So Millie, what have you
I think I did
Don't bump the little table.
this and
Yeah. I kind of wonder, are these new? These purple flowers?
leaves.
Or they've been there, but,
I did this.
So you've been stitching, and I bet it'll be done next week. Now that you have the thread you need.
This is
It's not because the kit didn't have. This is shepherd's bush. We've talked about it every episode, so you can go back and find that. Okay, you got it. Sorry.
Can't jiggle the table.
I think some of the thread. I think she lost some of the thread that came within the kit. She dropped. It dropped.
But
I'm not the most
lack
organized
of
in the house.
thread did not keep this girl from stitching. Oh no!
So, no.
She thought of
found another
stitcher.
option. She's going to be like all of us that are probably watching this. So we have a Just Cross Stitch Fall. Was it a fall magazine?
It's a fall magazine from last year. Actually.
That was on the coffee table, and she started browsing through it and asked if she could start this. So,
and it is huge.
Woodland Friends. Is it by Frosted Pumpkin?
It looks like it could be, but
no, I don't know now if I have the. Yes, it says probably on this page. No, I'm sorry. It's Tiny Modernist. That's right. This was
I like
Tiny
her
Modernist.
stuff too.
I know. And tell what you're going to do. You talk about it.
Putting the deer right here.
So she's doing
and a
3 in
fox
a row.
right here and this right here.
So you're not doing the bear.
So not doing the bear, and she's rearranging them a little because 2 of them have houses that she's doing. So she's going to put the 2 with houses, the raccoon and the deer, and the fox in the middle. So which one are you starting with?
The fox.
You're going to put the fox
Fox is the
here.
one you
Oh,
started.
well, maybe not. I can't remember
Or
now what order
I
you
think
decided.
I think that. Yeah. I
You're
think
just-
the fox is here.
You want to show your progress too? Yeah, so
and-
she's rearranging them a little bit and adding the deer in and taking out the bear.
So we had to
And
send floss
nothing
over for
working.
this.
Almost have that. You have the whole top border on the
I
first one
know.
done. Huh?
Yeah.
Do you know
And
what
the half
count you're
from-
working on? Is that
And
This is
14
one of the
count?
fabrics you sent over. Do you think it's 14? I'm not entirely
Could
sure.
be 16. It doesn't
I
look
guess
as
I'd
big
have
as
to
14.
measure it. Yeah, I don't think it's 14. It looks smaller than
I
14.
think it's
so
16 maybe. It's not 18.
no, 18 would be small.
Yeah. So this is her.
Isn't it a nice
Is
foundation?
this your
It's
first
gonna look so
project
cute with
without
them.
being kit? Yeah.
Mhm.
Your first one that you picked?
Except for the one you designed yourself.
Yeah.
Didn't you design the project once?
I designed part of a project.
Oh, yeah.
The elephant.
It was a kit that you added to. That's
Yeah.
right. So that's everything you worked on, right?
Yeah.
Okay, who's going to go next? Hang on, we're going to switch places. Let's do Rosie next because you went first the last couple
Okay.
times. Let's try not to bump the thing.
Okay.
Okay,
Rosie.
you have also been working super hard. Do you
And
have
I heard you worked on this when?
In the car.
in the car
Today?
on the highway?
How
on
far of a
Savannah?
ride do you think it is? How long is it? Tell people how long it takes you to get to Mimi's house.
I think 2 hours and a half.
That's right. It's about 2 hours and a half.
2.5 hours. You got a lot of stitching done in 2.5 hours.
So you want to show? So this, we've showed this before too. This was a kit. And it's, you want to talk about it?
So the,
I did like,
want me to hold it?
Yeah, maybe you can hold it up.
I did this.
All
And
that. I think the new stuff this week is, you might have finished the paw this week.
I did all of
remember.
this today.
Yes.
Oh.
Pretty much all that is
like
brand new
all
today.
of the
And this, it's hard to tell yet because she doesn't have the back stitching, but this is half of the kitty's head and its eye is right here. Then the other half, she's about to stitch, I think, over
Oh.
there. So
Nice job. And I'm
we'll
impressed you
show
can
it when
stitch in
it's
the
all
car.
done, which is coming up pretty
Yeah.
soon.
I stitched
You're
in the
good.
car,
You
too.
have a
Thank
little
you for
knot
sharing
going.
with us, Rose.
Nice work. You've also been sewing by hand something. You didn't bring that, have you? Oh, maybe next week we'll show that you were learning.
Okay, Miss Liddy.
And Liddy has,
Well,
been
I've
working
been
this?
working on this one again. I took a little break from it. I got, Mama, could you hold this?
Yeah, Mr. Halter.
I've got all of this end done, and I started the A extra. I think I have the A extraordinary.
Mary.
I have the
A-R-Y?
A, R, and the Y, and then I'm done. Oh, I have to do the back stitching and the
Oh.
border,
and there's a button.
and there's a button.
Oh.
But then I'm
Okay.
done, so I'm
It's going to be
pretty
done
close
soon.
to being done.
You're very close to being done.
It's going to be cute.
I bet you could have that done by next week if
It's
you worked on it.
Perfect,
Yeah,
because you
you're on
are
summer break.
extraordinary.
And you're on summer break.
You can talk
It's
about your garden.
supposed to be extraordinary.
Like there's
That's
Oh.
that's the title of the thing. for
be
chickens.
extraordinary.
Did you want to talk about the garden?
Yes.
Okay.
Little water break here.
Sorry. For those that don't like people that drink
Okay,
on their podcasts.
I guess we're all coming in to talk about the garden.
Okay.
Okay.
You know, you can keep over here.
Well, we have spinach in our garden, and carrots, and tomatoes, and lots of watermelon, and cucumbers, and pumpkins. We have 4 huge pumpkins, and they're all about to bloom.
Cool.
And then there's this kind of weed that's edible, and it's really good to put in salads. And we gather that up and we transplant it into rows, and then we wash it and eat it in salad.
What's it called?
Purslane.
Purslane?
It's like pinkish, greenish.
What's
and
it
it's
taste like?
It would be a. No, it's like sort of tart but sweet at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It's
It's
kind
better.
of lemony.
Yeah, it's
I think it
lemony.
tastes like a lettuce
Citrus.
or like a
It would be.
or
It would.
herb.
It's more like
Make
a
it-
ground cover.
It would make a pretty
looks like-
ground cover.
I'd pull it up as
It
a
would make
weed.
a pretty ground cover.
The girls, it is edible, so the
Mhm.
girls
Really
like to
good.
eat it.
It's good.
Some people pickle it and use it like a
Ooh, that
condiment.
sounds really good.
I've never done that.
So it adds a little
Good.
zing to your salad.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So what did you do this week with your garden produce?
Well,
Like-
Millie and me
we all
worked really
made it.
hard to make a
Oh,
salad.
you did it together? Oh, I didn't know
We
that.
did.
For lunch. Liddy said, I
lunch.
want to make a salad for lunch. And then she picked
So we
And we
pulled
take
up
the whole
a bunch of
bunch
spinach, purslane. We also used some of Mom's lettuce, some of Mom's peas, and then Millie and we chopped them all up, and we added some carrots and tomatoes from the fridge, and then we had lunch with it. We had lunch.
it was really good.
Sounds
It was
really good.
fun.
Good job. So you have any flowers in your garden or yours just a vegetable garden?
Ours is just a vegetable garden, but we want to plant
I think I planted
flowers
a
in
marigold.
You did just.
There was a
marigold.
marigold. Yes, we do have a marigold. Also, Millie, did you want to put poppies in there?
That was last year.
No, I thought you never.
I planted
okay.
them last time,
Okay.
but they never came out.
So they're stitchers.
So they're working
They're
really
gardeners.
hard in the garden alongside me, and it
And-
looks really good. There's hardly any weeds.
And
They've
I've been
working really hard and watering it.
Okay.
Okay,
And I've been
I think
reading
you
really
girls
hard.
are
so you can gather your things up. Here's your
Vamoose.
Oh, thanks.
skedaddle. Actually, you know, if you want to just leave your things on the side, you can and come back.
Yeah.
When we're done. You can
We're
just
gonna
look
clean
at
our stuff up.
No cross stitching.
No. Out you go.
Bye.
Bye. Uncle Sam and Uncle Andrew and Aunt Cassidy and Ashley.
Wow.
You got all
Wow,
wow. We came to see
people
you.
Good. I'm gonna.
After this, we're having a big chili dinner tonight, and then tomorrow is
Yes.
Father's Day. Father's Day brunch tomorrow. Okay.
So we're gonna go to the store.
Yes, we have to go to the store
to
still.
get some food.
Going to the
Okay.
store just seems like there's an effort anymore, though.
I know.
Used to be just, let's just hop down to the store, and now it's like, I gotta go to the store. Okay.
I just really don't enjoy going to the store period anymore.
No.
There's not really very many
Do we
fun stores
do we
open where we live.
Oh, I have to say,
So with
real quick, that my good friend Jody, Jody's been watching our Flosstube. Hi, Jody. She lives like 3 blocks from me, but we just haven't seen each other. We also work for the same company. And last week she texted me and said, hey, I really think I want to start stitching. She used to be part of a stitching group that we had with some older ladies. Every Tuesday night we met at somebody's house and we stitched. And then,
like older ladies and me and my friend.
did you come over on Tuesdays at Beth's?
Yeah.
Did you?
well, I think so.
Well, maybe.
I don't remember.
But anyway, then
I
we
joined at
all,
some point.
we all kind of went our ways. I think Jody went back to work, and then I went back to work. And anyway, so I don't, but my projects are so old. I don't even know if I remember how to do it. And I said, you can do it. You're not going to forget how to cross stitch. So she wanted to order a kit. So I sent her a link to the one that I had ordered recently. I should have pulled it, but it's the floral. It's a dimensions kit. Amazon has it. It's the mason jars with all the flowers in it.
Mm-hmm.
And so she ordered that. And then we talked a couple nights after it got there, and she's going to just do part of it, which I'd seen other people do. Well, she got her stuff all laid out and taped her pattern together, and then she texted me the next day and said, I need an light and I need some needle threaders, and I ordered those and some hoops. And so I just got a text from her. I hope you don't mind, Jody. My stuff came today and my first stitches are in. Of course, it was white on white, but I did it. Made one mistake in counting, but I fixed it. And second color is now on the needle. I'm stitching 1 flower at a time, and it will make me feel more accomplished. And good for you, Jody. I knew you could do it.
That's how I feel when I stitch.
Yeah.
Just peaceful.
Yeah.
Peaceful things.
And I think it's something that, some people knit and they don't ever get to a point where they can knit watching TV. It's just too hard. And, but I think for some people, maybe stitching could be that. And it's been a stressful year. And I think I'm really glad for you, Jody, because I think you deserve some downtime and some peaceful time. So anyway, good on you.
So whips. I'll go first.
You go first this time.
I have quite a few whips because I'll show my focal piece that I didn't really focus that much on.
I forgot. I do have a plan, but I didn't bring it in, so I'll share it next week.
This was kind of what I was hoping to work the most on this week, my Italian piece.
Christmas Italian.
My Christmas Italian piece that I don't want to try to say the name
How
again.
far you're getting. Oh my gosh, it's so cute.
It is so cute. I really do enjoy this one, but it's not super fun right now to stitch where I'm at because it's a lot of white.
Yeah.
I don't know. White is just not that fun to stitch for me. And actually, it's kind of backlit or overly bright. There we go. So there's a lot more white coming, and I took a little break from the white and stitched this little cake, and there will be a back stitch little line up to that heart. So I didn't do a lot on it, even though that was my focal piece.
So she's basically stitched. You done the house?
I have not done the house.
She stitched the girl and this part and the little cake area.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's such a cute little pattern.
So I started with her because she's just the cutest, and I love her little orangey yellow pigtails.
Yes.
And so there's a lot of snow. I think my fabric is a little lighter than the one in the picture, and so the snow doesn't pop quite as much. But it's not hard to see when I'm stitching it, so that's okay. But that was my first piece that I really worked on. And then I worked on this cute springtimey piece, Raccolto de Primavera, another Italian piece, I think.
It's Italian, yeah.
I think
I think it's, yeah.
And I have been working on finishing up the basket with the, can you see it?
There you go.
So I stitched all this white this week. I think I might have finished up the basket a little bit this week too.
Bring it down.
Yeah, there we
There you
go.
go.
It's kind of tricky to figure out the lighting because we're right by the window.
We are, but oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, so I do love that one. That one's nice to stitch on. I forget how, Ada is nice to stitch on because the holes are so visible.
I
and
really
even and big.
Mm-hmm. I think that was it. I think I did mine on an 18 count, so it was just so easy to stitch, and it didn't come out huge.
This was the other one. I actually worked on this in the car on the way over, but we're taking home a dresser with us. So we took my husband's Dodge. What does he have? Dodge. His big truck. And it was like the whole way over. So I might have to undo everything I just did. But we'll see.
Oh, it's on tiny.
So I'm doing, I guess I should say, I'm doing all these bent creeks that I think there's a fourth one in there.
They came.
Have I shown this before?
You showed it. I don't know if you've shown all of them.
So I'm starting with this one, and then next to it, I'm going to do this. Well, actually, I don't know which one I'm doing next to it, but these will all be in a row on that fabric.
Oh, and you can leave it up after Christmas.
It's pretty wintry, not just Christmassy.
I love just winter stitching. I've said that before.
Did I say it was called button up? I think in my head it's button up, but it's not. It's Winter Snapperland.
Snappers. It's Snapperland.
Snappers.
Yeah, Snapperland.
By Bent Creek. Winter Snapperland.
And they have little
Rink, sleigh ride.
You see the little
chalet. Yeah, they come with little snaps that you then put on the piece. It's a little, it's not really a kit. It just comes with a snap.
Yeah, they're cute.
So each one has snaps. This one has a little black snap on the horse's, what do you call it? Harness, or I don't know. I'm not a horse person.
I got to go to Stitchville, USA last year, just a little over a year ago, and in Minnesota. I think I told people I only had an hour in there, but I had to bring something home for Sarah, and that's what I
love these. Actually, I love it on this fabric. I dyed this fabric. Or, I mean, I just tea-dyed it.
And the white pops on it.
And there's this adorable, I really love the border. I'm doing the border in a overdyed floss. I can't remember what color it is.
And that was a free pattern, right?
The border you can get the border for free, and it will go all around. So it'll just look like that windy, snowy. Yes. I love how the white really pops on this. I really wanted the white to show, which is why I tea-dyed. I think this was a blue fabric that you gave me, and I tea-dyed it, and it's grungy, and the white shows really well.
It's gonna be really cute.
Oh, I really love stitching this week too. I think I show this like every week. But this is Jardin Privé Patchwork Été. I need to stitch some American. I'm stitching like all European, and I don't know how to say any of the patterns I'm working on, but I love this one. So I had to do. Oops, I lost a bunch of threads down there. I decided I wanted to work on getting those borders in around the motifs, because then I could kind of see where the next one was supposed to go better. I had this a half stitch too low, so I had to tear this whole motif out, and actually it went pretty fast, and then I put it back in. So this is the length of it. I love the colors. Like I just said a little bit ago, I don't have very many summer decorations. Like I have a lot of Christmas and fall, and then I just don't have much else. So I'm trying to load myself up with cute summery things, because then I will want to put them out. I did work on this. Yeah, I worked on my milk and cream. It's Plum Street samplers. Actually got quite a bit done on this.
If you hear noise, the girls are doing taekwondo in the other room.
Oh yeah, they're showing off. So this is just the edge. I've got all this done here. I love that color for the house.
Is that the color?
Yeah, it's called Prairie Grass. It's a classic Colorworks.
I do like that.
And it's pretty. It's the same color as on this door. I don't think the variegation is showing up very well. It's pretty subtle.
Yeah.
But
some of them just
I'm stitching it vertically, and I'm stitching the barn itself horizontally. And maybe when I'm finished, when I post a picture. It smells like wood smoke because I worked on it at the fire pit.
Oh, that's
why you smelled smoke.
I thought the neighbor was maybe smoking some meat.
No. And then my last one. Oh, this ended up really being my focal piece. I'm working on.
If you didn't know.
Yeah, if you hadn't heard, we're working on. Each of us have a hot run hollow, or 4 or 6. I might start that spring one sooner rather than later. I love it. But anyways, I'm starting
Good.
with this corner, and I'm stitching it 1 over 1 on 28
Count.
count.
You did a 28 count.
Yeah, I think you're right. 28.
Yeah, 28 count.
And I think it's going okay. This is where I'm at this week.
Look at
We had shown, right, last week I just had this little
just
bit
a
done.
little bit, yeah.
So this week I got all this white done. The picture isn't popping with the white, but it is a little subtle. The white isn't
There
really,
you
really
go.
bright on this fabric,
Yeah.
but
It's more, it pops more. It's just not
in
popping on the
person you
camera.
can
Oh
see
yeah,
the
I can
white
totally
more.
see the white.
And I realized that the blue that it calls for when I held it up to the fabric is actually quite similar. I'm doing them in DMCs. The blue is quite similar to the color of my fabric as well. I'm stitching it on Picture This Plus Sterling Lugana. So I went last night, before I went to bed, I stayed up way too late. I went through all my DMC and pulled out every blue I had. Like, even if I knew right away it wasn't going to work. I just was like, no, I'm putting them all out. And so these are my possible blues. I'm really thinking I'm going to do it, but I have them all together in case I change my mind. I think I'm going to do the water in 800.
Pull it down a little bit.
See. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
There you go. I guess you can kind of see.
There you
I
go.
think that will show against my fabric better than the 927 that it
The
calls
tricky
for.
part is when you're only using one stitch. I mean, one thread.
Yeah, it's because
hard
I'm
to
doing 1 over 1. I think if I was doing 2 over, 2.
Yeah.
But I just didn't want a huge piece on this one. I do think the next time I do a hot run hollow, I'm going to do it over 2 though.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a different. I'm really enjoying it, and actually once I get into a rhythm, it's fun. So those are my whips.
Okay, my whips this week.
There was a lot. I did a lot of different things.
You did do a lot. On top of all your gardening too.
Top of all my
I'm
gardening.
impressed. Okay.
It was a lot of gardening this week. Once it's all in, it won't be quite as much work.
My
I mean,
whips.
Sure. Hold things up for you.
Well, okay, so I'm just going to start with my a year at Hot Run Hollow, and I'm starting with, January. And I had a crisis with my Hot Run Hollow this week because I realized that my fabric was a white. It was kind of it said it was gray, but it really was too white. And with 1 over 1, my whites were not going to show up. So I
like the white on this little
bird. And even now the bird does not show up immensely. I guess it does.
Oh, yes, it does. Way better.
So I tea-dyed this. I just threw it in a quick
Here, hold it down.
tea-dye bath. It's really wrinkly because it's linen.
Should all acquaintance be
and so I did, this week I finished the words, and then I did the bird, and then I did this tree.
Does the tree have 2 colors?
Nope. I changed the color. So again, another little mini. I mean, this is new for me, and it's not new for a lot of stitchers, but I usually just do it what it calls for. But now I'm realizing when people say my color's based on the picture, because when I look at this picture, that is a very green tree, and the DMC conversion was more of a pea green, kind of a lighter green, and so I went through my.
This will match your house.
So I went through and pulled out I pulled out 890. It was a whole different green, but I like it a lot better.
Yeah,
so,
that's a nice green.
So it's a learning experience, and it's good because it's totally, I guess it's just okay. Yeah. I mean, I guess I used to feel like, if the designer wanted it this way, we should only do it this way.
But everything I hear from designers is like, make it your own. This is your starting point.
Right.
If you like
so
it another way.
I feel like there might be a few other colors. In fact, I know there will be, because January Girl, that dress is all white, and I am not really excited about doing all white with this fabric even. So I have kind of a greenish white that I might do the dress in. Somebody on Facebook suggested it to me, and I pulled it, and we'll see. It might be okay that way. It just might stand out a little bit more. Yeah. But and so then I realized quickly that one of my other, I'll talk about it later when we do Christmas. Jolly July. So my other piece that I worked on quite a bit was my fall.
I haven't seen it in person.
So this is one half, well, not the whole half of the chart, but let me take that needle out. So I was having a little bit of a crisis with this one a few weeks ago.
Do you have a print? Well,
I don't.
Not with the color, but this is the whole pattern.
So they're upside down. So I'm doing this part right. Let me poke at the screen. Yeah, I'm doing this part right there. There's a bigger squirrel. I don't know if it's mommy
So
or daddy.
you have stitched the little squirrel.
The little
That's what you're
squirrel,
working on or
mhm.
have been working on with that pumpkin
Yeah.
underneath.
So I basically did, the tail on him was a very light gray. It was actually the same gray that's around his face, which shows up okay, but it just didn't look right. Actually, it's the color around his eye.
Are you doing it on Ada?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Doing
cute.
this on 18 count that I dyed
And you dyed
and
it?
grunged it up, yeah.
It's really cute.
So I finished
I like that.
the squirrel. I did his bucket, and I outlined the pumpkin. And I filled in her dress. So yeah, and this is
It's really
nice
cute.
because it's 18 count, so it is really
Who
easy.
is this? The blue flower? Yeah, the blue flower.
Which I had never heard of
love
until this
stuff.
year, and I love her.
Her stuff is
All
really
of her
pretty.
squirrels are so
Yeah.
cute.
I've been looking at those patterns.
Mhm. So that was, I worked a lot on him. And then, so because I have joined the club of Start All Things, Misty Purcell, first of all, this winter, everybody was raving about these Blackbird Designs charts, and it's the season ones. And there's 3 different charts, but they're really meant to be stitched on one piece because the alphabet runs across all 3 pieces. So there's no spring. There's summer, autumn, and winter.
And the alphabet's finished at the end of
Yeah,
Wait.
the alphabet goes.
L-N-N.
Let's see. It goes.
Wait, let me see this one.
across. Yeah, it does. I don't know.
No. What?
It starts with summer, and then goes to autumn.
I need to look at this. Oh.
See? Okay,
Oh,
here's
it
a
goes
better
along the
picture.
bottom.
Here's
Oh,
a
yeah.
better picture of
Show
the
that.
finished.
So that's what it's kind of supposed to look like, all done. Which maybe everyone that's watching this has seen this. I don't know. I haven't.
Yeah, it's taken. I thought they were
Yeah.
stitched individually, but really unless you didn't want to put the alphabet on. And I bought them because they were out of stock, and then all of a sudden people were getting them back in stock. I think maybe they were released at Nashville. I'm not sure, but that's when around Nashville when I started hearing about them. So I went ahead and bought all 3 of them, and I thought I really love them. And I actually had some Lugana in my stash that would work for all 3 of them. I don't have a lot of big pieces in my stash, so this was exciting to find. But Misty Purcell from Luminous Fiber Arts decided for summer solstice, the first day of summer, she was going to start this pattern, and I said, oh, I'll join crazy and do it too. So I did. This morning I put in the A.
Cute.
And so I'm starting, and
So you're starting
this
with
thread is, what's this thread? Manor. It's called, go back to the beginning. It's called Manor Red, and it has got a lot. It's not showing up a
Classic
great here.
color.
Yeah.
Classic color.
You can see a little bit of the variation there.
You can really see it in person.
Yeah.
Like it's much
Yeah.
more like brown to red.
I kind
You
of
might
like
like
stitching alphabet. I mean, some people don't like it. Certain alphabets I like, and this is a nice one. It's not too fancy.
Cute.
So I put that in real quick with my coffee this morning, and before I had to get my house ready for my guests.
They come with all these cute like additional.
Oh yeah,
every one
of
not
them.
freebies. Are
No.
they freebies? No, not
No,
really, but they're
there's
in there.
additional charts.
I like
for
those.
each one. So that's going to become one of my big focal pieces. That's the fall. Oh, I like extra one.
I like that basket.
Did you show that one?
This one right here. Extra piece that goes along.
There might even be another.
This is winter. Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Oh,
Anyway,
that's cute.
They are really cute.
Cute, cute. Really
I like birds. I didn't know I liked birds until
I do.
the last
I'm
couple
always
of
really
years.
drawn to birds.
So I think those are the 3 major things. I don't think I worked on anything else. Oh, I did work. I did work on my Forest Queen by Barbara Anna, but just a few stitches. I didn't. It's not worth showing at this point. So that's my works in progress and haul. My haul this week was. It's not exciting, but I just have to share it.
Well, I mean, it's exciting.
I found at Michael's, I don't know if this is their brand, a 25 count. No, 22 count, which I don't see very often.
Yeah.
And I like it because it's not quite as small as the 28, but it's a little bit smaller than 18.
Is it a Ada or a Eden?
Yeah, it's just a Ada.
Yeah.
And so I do plan on dyeing these probably, or tea dyeing them, and one of them might get used from one of my Jolly July projects. So bought those and some stuff that I'm going to show for Jolly July in a few minutes. And then I also bought, I'm so excited because I also went to my Joann's. Yeah, and I bought the latest edition of this, which Sarah hasn't gotten to look at, and there are some cute things in this episode. Cute things. You get a lot
Yeah, it's a big.
You get a lot for this little publication, and it's $10. But there are a lot of patterns, and it's some are, if you aren't familiar, some are punch needle. It's like every other pattern in the book is punch needle and cross stitch punch needle, and a lot of pretty famous designers design for it. Anyway, if you can, I think I'm actually going to ask for a subscription to this for Christmas next year, because it takes a while for my stores to get these in. And for a while, Barnes and Noble carried them, and then I think they stopped. And Joann's gets them in, but I think they get them in just who knows when. And I think the most recent one, this is spring, and I think summer maybe just got shipped out for people that have a subscription. So I bought that.
But they might not show up in our stores for a while.
I can't talk about this enough. I really love it. And then I also purchased a pattern. I'm just going to have to show it to you on the phone, because I think my husband keeps telling me that there is ink. There's color ink in that printer. But every time I go to print a pattern and I want color, it comes out black and white, which is really making me angry. But
and it's not a setting on your computer?
No, I actually pick color and it doesn't come out. So I've had my eye on this one. It's by that Primitive Stitching by Shelley Auen, A-U-E-N. And it is called, Do You See What I See? And it is very simple. And it's just the star and the deer and the girl looking up. And I saw this a couple of years ago, and I've always had it in my favorites on Etsy. And they're not that expensive, and they're all PDF downloads. So I downloaded that because I really do love that one.
That's really sweet.
Just very understated. And I think that's all, except for the couple things that I have for my Jolly July, which we're going to talk about in a minute.
Oh, please.
When our little guest goes.
Hi, little guest. Hi. There's a reason we can't talk about it with her in here, but she doesn't know that.
My shoes.
Oh, we got a breeze coming in the window. Oh, that feels good.
Okay, go.
Problem with Seattle in June, when it gets to the 70s and 80s and cloudy, it's humid.
It's much more humid here than it is even on the other side of the mountains.
And I feel like it's gotten worse over the last couple of years. Like, it did used to be this way. Okay, good.
I think we're just not angled right. That's okay.
Excuse us, but you know.
And I guess we're going to talk about Jolly July. We're talking about Jolly July now? I can go first. So I was trying to decide what I was going to do for Jolly July, because I wanted to do something new and different, but I didn't really want to start another really big piece. And then I thought, every year I give all 3 girls a Christmas ornament, and I've never made them. Actually, I did cross stitch them one year. Oh, I should show those around Christmas time. But I hadn't really thought of doing ornaments. I didn't want to do like 25 ornaments. I don't have a specific tree. And then I thought, oh, I should just stitch them specific ornaments. So this book is now mine. So technically it's Hall, although I didn't buy it because she just bought a new one for herself and gave me this one. Don't tell Dad. Oh, I shouldn't have said that.
I think Dad watches this because he thinks it's so cute. It's okay.
We're so cute.
You know, as long as I gave you a copy, he won't mind because I gave you a copy.
It's a gift. Just call it my birthday gift, even though my birthday's like 4 months
It's
away.
such.
This is the cutest. I don't know if you've seen this. Yeah.
Get it on Amazon. And I think it's been in and out.
I'll just show you. I won't do a whole flip through, but I'll show you the ones I'm really thinking about stitching.
But it is available right now on Amazon.
Look at this. These are so cute. So I'm thinking about taking like just some of these little little patterns and making them into ornaments. I haven't 100% decided which ones I'm going to do, but I love this too.
They're very nostalgic, very simple, there's just a European style to them.
They make me think, I don't know if you've ever, well, I don't know how many people here are reading children's books, but Astrid Lindgren, who wrote Pippi Longstocking, she has a series of books called Noisy Village, and they're set in Sweden, but they're translated into English. And there's some picture books, and they're all about these 3 farms that are right next to each other. And there are all these kids running around, and they have a Christmas at Noisy Village. And we live in a neighborhood that has like lots of like 12 kids. No, that's too many. 7 kids. There's not
like 12.
It feels like 12 when they're all happen to play together. Anyways, the illustrations are just very much, this makes me think of Noisy Village. So, and I think my girls will immediately think that too.
And they're all DMC. There's nothing fancy about them. They're just very
ones. So here's the deer. So I know one of my girls would love this one. I'm really thinking I might do at least these 2. One for 2 of the girls, and then I might do one of the children, but that bird one is so cute too. Anyway, so that's what I'm going to do for Jolly July. I need to figure out, I just decided that like 20 minutes before we
got here.
Because I got here, I was waiting to look through some of her ornament magazines and stuff. And so.
She went through the ornament magazines and then she pulled that book out. And several people shared this. And in fact, I believe Miss D from Luminous Fiber Arts did a couple,
so
or
cute.
at least one ornament
the
from
advent
here.
calendar too.
Last July. And I was going to do it along with her and I flaked out.
Look at this. I mean, as long as I got this book here, look at this adorable advent calendar. So each page has like one of these little red work. Well, I guess they're not all red work. They're like a small design that's meant to be like an advent calendar. And I don't think I have the patience to stitch all of that because there's 24.
I might someday just for myself.
Maybe someday I will.
When I'm retired and have all
I just
the
need
time
to focus on the ornaments right now. But anyway, there's so much.
It's like $25, and it is so worth it. It's a hardback. It's very sweet.
So that's going to be my Jolly July plan, and now I'm really excited to get started on that. But I guess I'll wait for a couple weeks. I don't have fabric or anything yet.
July's going to be here before we know
it. I know, so I better put an order in.
Here. Okay, my Jolly July was going to be just one piece. Originally.
No, never, not
but it's kind of morphed. And the one piece, way back when I started talking about doing Jolly July, this is the piece,
Wait, how many? I just want to know how many you bought this week that you're going to do for Jolly July.
I didn't buy any this week.
Oh, well, I did. How many did you decide you're going to buy?
There's like 3 now. 4.
So she was going to just work on a piece that she already had.
Yes,
right?
I even have this kit of that. Because I was going to do it last year. It's Barbara Anna's adorable little.
This is so cute.
Christmas sampler.
I do. Like
it is cute. So a couple of months ago, I thought, I think I'll do that in July because that'll be really easy and it'll be an easy.
Yeah. So this was going to be her Jolly July.
Mm-hmm.
Just this.
Yeah, just this. Mm-hmm. I was going to get it done in July too. Okay, folks, I need to find some small projects that I can actually finish before I die.
Please don't die before you finish.
So the other
one in here.
So last week I talked about this, I think, because I jumped on the crazy train for Hot Run Hollow, and of course, if there's a stitch along for the Christmas one,
that's the thing. It's the stitch alongs that get you. It's not the patterns, although you love the patterns. It's the like community stitch along.
Can you not just absolutely die? I love this. I love it. And I bought it, and I bought the fabric for it.
Oh man, that's a lot of black.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of colors. There's a lot of colors.
Whoa. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's a lot more than my year.
Way more than your year. And my stores at Hot Run Hollow was way more than your year.
I bought this from a shop in Etsy, and I bought my fabric from 123 Stitch, and they both came on the same day.
And what else are you planning now? Just
but I have to say, my fabric that I bought was, again, on the light side. And I thought, it's too light. So this morning, before I dumped my tea and coffee water out from the other day, I quick dumped it and then baked it a little bit. So it'll be a little bit darker.
Too. It's really
modern. And Crazy Town 2, I'm going to do it over 1 on 28, which also means I probably get it done. But, I have to say,
the good news is you love these enough that you're going to keep stitching.
I will keep stitching.
Like you aren't going to get bored, I don't think, because it's not just a lot of the same thing. I think having those individual squares makes it much more like achievable.
It is, and I love the words on here. Is I heard the bells on Christmas Day. Oh. Their old familiar carols play. Wild and sweet, the words repeat. Of peace on earth, goodwill towards man. And I love that, and it kind of just makes me want to cry sometimes.
I think Grandpa always. So when I was growing up, we would have Christmas Eve, like get together and we would sing hymns or sing carols, and each of us would share a funny anecdote from the newspaper or maybe a touching poem or something related to Christmas. And I think Grandpa always would choose I Heard the Bells. That's what I always associated with.
I am going to change this, and I don't know the history on this because the last square says, "This to my friends when I am gone, I leave for them to look upon. Remember that I wrought the same. For herein you will find my name."
I wonder if that's like the last verse and we just never
I don't know, but they put Mary Crow 1801. I'm not putting Mary Crow 1801 on here. I think I'll put Kim Gatz 2020 or 2025 or
but you're gonna say
2030.
Wait.
Or it might have Sarah's initials on it.
Okay. Well, the word is wrought. W-R-O-G-H-T. Remember that I wrought this. Wrought. But when you read it out loud, I wasn't looking at the words and I thought it was R-O-T. So I thought you were going to tell me you were going to stitch those words because I don't know, maybe because you just told me you're never going to finish it.
Or you're just gonna rot before I
It's
finish
like,
it.
you're going to leave rot. Okay,
So
but that rot makes much more sense.
yes.
Much more sense.
So this is going to get started. I think the stitch along on the Friends of Hawk Run Hollow is going to start on July 15th. So it won't start until then. But then last week I also showed.
What if it said, what if it said R-O-T? I mean, let me just read this to you so you can understand what I heard. Picture R-O-T. This to my friends. When I am gone, I leave for them to look upon. Remember that I brought the same. Herein you will find my name. Talking about when you're gone.
Roddy.
Sorry. Okay.
Sarah needed a laugh today, apparently.
Under
So
control.
so last week I also really expressed a desire to stitch one of the ornaments from last year's. I think it was last year's magazine.
I think so too.
Ornament
It was the
magazine.
little one.
It was-
I was looking at that.
It's Pinochka stitches, and it's a little robin, and it's very sweet.
It is really cute.
And that's something I can maybe actually get done.
You should definitely
You
start
know,
that one too, so you can have it finished next month.
Because we need content.
And no, because you need to finish.
And then I decided
there's more.
this is the
Just
last one. I'm not doing anything else, but this is the only one I'm going to add.
Till
So,
next week.
That quarter shop has a mystery stitch along, and I have not done. I don't think a mystery stitch along. And it's $12, and then you get an installment. I think every Friday during July.
Oh,
And this is what you get to start with. Basically nothing. Just a little.
you have the banner, like the
It's
Merry
just a
Christmas.
picture. I don't think you can get that. I don't. No.
Oh,
I mean, that might be on it, but you don't get a graph or anything until the first, I think.
I've
I'm not
never done a mystery stitch
I'm not
along
sure if
either,
it's
so
the first day of July or when. I need to look and see. Maybe it says, I guess I should look
calendar.
there. And you can go to their website. They have floss packs. They have floss pack with DMC. They have a floss pack with Fancy Floss. And I think there's been some changes with availability of what brand they're going to use. They're also going to have she showed a picture on their latest Flosstube of the canvas bag you can buy. They didn't have any available, but it's really
Stitch
cute.
on it? Stitch it
No,
on?
just like a project bag.
Oh,
But it's
oh.
called Mistletoe Lane.
Go with it.
And I thought, okay, I want to do it. And I don't think it's, well, I don't know. It says it's 119 wide by 119 high. And they have fabric, a 25 count Lugana. And I'm assuming they're going to do it over 2. But they have you, I went and bought the DMCs, and they say you need like 3 skeins of one color. And I'm like, it's not,
be a lot.
I'm going to do mine on, forget what I decided I was going to do mine on, but it's going to be small. I'm not going to have it be 9.5. It's going to be like 4.5.
Are you doing it on this?
No, well, I pulled that out. That's an 18 count. I forget what I'm not going to do mine that big. But when I saw the colors of the thread packs, I thought, oh, it just reminds me of when I was a little girl. These were real popular Christmas colors, you know, the pinks and the reds and the greens. I'm missing one color. But I thought that is going to be really cute. It does not go with my decor whatsoever at Christmas time. But now that I'm working from home for the rest of my life, I will have a shelf above my desk in my den.
Until you rot.
Till I rot. Till I rot. Probably. Yeah, I don't want to retire ever. But I'm going to have a shelf up there. And so I thought I could do whatever I want for that room. And this is probably going to be small enough that it would fit on a little
even if it
shelf.
didn't like perfectly go with your decor, it would still be really cute in your living room.
It would.
It would be cute.
And I think
that is really cute.
They don't do it on the white. They do it on something called overcast. I think it's kind of a light gray. Yeah. So whatever.
Are you going to try to finish each installment before the next one comes out?
I think that's a problem. I'm going to do 1 square a week of Hawk Run Hollow too. And
she's going to have Christmas done by July.
I'm not working. I'm taking the month off.
Even then, I think that might be a lofty goal.
Oh, yeah. So that is all. That's all, folks.
Can you grab the giveaway that we had from last week?
So last week was our giveaway. We were hoping that somebody that wanted to stitch it for Jolly July or not, just wanted it. Again, this is a prairie schooler. I don't know if these This is from 2008, but it does give you numbers to put it for 2020. And I feel like these were just released. I don't know when, but I've never seen them. There's a series of them. So this one was the one we were giving away.
Yeah, just says 2008.
But I have not seen them on 123 Stitch until just recently. And actually, the first one I saw was on an Etsy shop. And when I went back to get the second and third one, she didn't have those anymore, but 123 Stitch did. So anyway, I had 2 of these. So somebody is a lucky winner.
And our winner is Gail. I wanted to make sure I got the name right. Gail Blaine.
Yay, Gail!
And we're so glad that we're sending this to you because you had commented that you're about to have surgery. So I think you could probably use a bright spot. So we will try to get that out to you. Yeah. I don't know. Have you sent out the last giveaway? We need to make sure.
No.
Okay.
You need to.
I need to get.
That was yours.
Okay. No.
It was oh no, it is mine. Did I not leave it with you?
So we'll get that sent out this week too.
Oh, we're bad.
Sorry. It's coming. I still know if you haven't received it, I'm really sorry. We dropped the ball. And
so
we need to.
My husband's a mailman. So as soon as we get your
that
address, we will get these out because he takes my mail for me in the morning and drops it in the mail just like that.
So I will, I know the address of our first giveaway, which we didn't send out a couple weeks ago, and I really apologize for that. It's my fault because I forgot to make sure she had the address and talk about that. And then our email address is going to be listed in the notes below. Go ahead and email us, Gail, and with your address so that we can send this out this week. And we will, you can be looking for that in the mail.
Yes.
So
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. We'll get this
squared away. I did want to give a shout out to a fairly new, real quick, because we forgot to do this part. It's a fairly new channel, I believe.
We didn't forget. This was the last thing I was going to.
Okay. Hold on. I was going to pull this up and I forgot to do it.
I'm curious if it's going to be the same one.
I don't know. It's a big surprise.
I think it can't be. It could be.
They just commented like yesterday or last night. And let me go real quick. You don't want to hear. Don't need to hear that. Oops. I'm sorry. I'm not very good. It was Sanctum Stitching.
It is. That's the same one I was going to say. Yeah. So I found them because they posted on Instagram and just did like a hashtag for Flosstube. So I followed them and watched them and commented. It's Fawn and Marianne. Mm-hmm. And they're what it's called Sanctum Stitching is their YouTube channel, and it's I don't think it's a mother and daughter, but it's they do it on Zoom like we usually do, and I think their tagline is where modern meets vintage. So they have a nice variety of different kinds of patterns, and I really enjoyed watching them.
I just saw your comment last night, Fawn, and I did comment back, and I took a peek at your guys' channel really quick and I subscribed. They have 8 episodes out. So if you're looking for somebody new to watch, so many new Flosstubers, you guys. And it's kind of exciting. And so anyway, it would be an easy one to go back and get to know them. Yeah. Because there's not like, 3 years worth of videos. So anyway.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
Thanks for the comment, and we hope we send a few viewers your way.
Yeah.
And that is cute that we had the same one.
That is funny. Well, when you said that, so we have the same taste, I guess. I guess that is our whole video. Thanks for watching, if you made it all the way to the end here. And we are glad you joined us.
And like, subscribe.
Oh, yeah.
Tell people about us.
Comment. We love reading your comments just for fun. It's just really fun.
And by the way, we have like this whole crew in the other room, all of her brothers that are excited about this. And they're, well, I don't know this week, but last week they were all, or 2 weekends ago, we're all visiting you. Last week?
We had 2
weekends ago. And they were so excited every time they saw that our subscriber number went up because, we're going to be big influencers now.
Yeah, I guess we're content producers.
Yeah. So anyway, we love you all. Thanks for hanging with us. And we hope we enabled you in your stitching world.
And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.